let's start this off with Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios undercard. So I saw the undercard, pretty solid undercard. We got Gary Antoine Russell versus Andy Hiroka. I'm not gonna lie, I think Andy Hiroka might stop him. There was Beck the Bully. They pitted him in. I think that's a stay busy fight. I don't really feel like that fight. I don't know if it's gonna be that good because Beck, this is someone he should be able to get out of there. And then I'm trying to think who else was on the other card. Oh yeah, Hitchens versus Oscar Duarte. That's a pretty good fight. It's a part of me that wants to lean toward Oscar Duarte because I remember I thought Liam Power was gonna be Hitchens' toughest fight, and then I'm thinking back to it. I think Hitchens, this type of styles he might struggle with, are fighters that come forward and just come at him because that's what Lemos did. And then Oscar Duarte, obviously we know he's far better than Lemos. Gave Ryan Garcia a very tough fight, punches very hard, very consistent. Gave Kenneth Sims a very hard fight, and Kenneth Sims is, as we know, a boxer. It's some pretty solid fights on him. Now, going on to Josh Kelly beating Bachram. I did mention this before when I said I know Bachram beat Tim Tszyu, but even though he beat Tim Tszyu, he's getting the boogeyman status and he only beat Tim Tszyu. Look at Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly, obviously probably not the best champion, but still a pretty good fighter. He dropped Bachram with a jab, was able to hurt Bachram. Now I'm just thinking about it. Imagine what Virgil would have probably did. Actually, Virgil, that style matchup might have been kind of in the favor of Bachram, but anyway, just seeing that Boots stopping him, Xander Zayas. I'm not gonna lie, after seeing Xander's performance from yesterday against Abbas Barrow, I'm starting to be a Xander Zayas believer. Like there was a time I'm like, I don't know if he can beat someone like Virgil or someone like a Bachram or Boots or Sebastian Fedora. I'm starting to believe that he might be able to beat these guys. And this kid, he's only I think 22 or 23, and he's a unified champion. Think about that. Really think about that. Now, if hopefully if Virgil versus Boots is made, we can have Josh Kelly versus Xander Zayas. Since if Boots, Josh Kelly has signed to fight Boots if the Virgil versus Boots fight doesn't get made. So why not Xander versus Josh Kelly? That's a pretty good fight. I think I'll have Xander Zayas outboxing Josh Kelly, even though Josh Kelly, he's pretty sharp. After watching the Bachram fight, I thought he was gonna lose this fight, but he's a little bit sharper than I thought, and he seems to actually have some pretty good pop. And Xander Zayas, he seems like he could take a pretty solid punch. So I think I got Xander beaten. Now, going on to Teófimo versus Shakur. Oh Lord. Whew, that fight right there. I thought this was going to be a more competitive fight. Shakur outclassed. Shakur showed he's one of the ones of our generation. Very special fighter. Very special fighter. I want to see Shakur go up to 147 because you just beat the number one guy at 140 that easy. You like literally, Teófimo didn't win one round. You can give I think there was a round you could give Teo you wanted to. You can only give Teófimo one round against Shakur, and then he got out jabbed. Shakur looks stronger than him. This is making me think. Fight at your normal weight class. Look what happens when you fight closer to your actual weight. Shakur just showed you. And then I want to see Shakur versus someone like Devin Haney, but it's understandable because I think Devin Haney, he does look a little bit bigger than Shakur, but hey, shout out to Bruce Shoo Carrington. There was I did have my doubts about Shakur Carrington before, but now you got that dog in you. You got hurt by Castro. You were able to come back and you were able to stop him. And then, man, seeing how emotional Shakur Carrington got for becoming a champion, that was a special moment to witness, because this just shows how special the belts really are. Like the WBC, because that's one of the most recognized belts. That's, man, very special moment. Congratulations, Shushu. There's some stuff obviously you're gonna work on, obviously, I'm pretty sure, but that was a very entertaining, fun performance. Possible knockout of the year contender, and that was just a very entertaining fight. Very entertaining fight. Seeing your grit, seeing that you actually do have more tools in your bag, seeing that you can adjust after getting hurt, man, that's something special. And now, Keyshawn Davis agreeing to fight Devin Haney. He said after he beat and stopped Jermaine Ortiz, he called Devin Haney out in the ring. But now, from what I'm hearing, he's saying he wants to fight Lewis Crocker. That it makes sense, because you get the belt and then you and Devin Haney fight in the unification. But I wouldn't mind seeing Devin Haney versus Keyshawn. I got Devin Haney. I'm a Devin Haney believer now. After seeing what he did to Brian Norman, I think Devin Haney outboxes Keyshawn. Especially seeing what Jermaine Ortiz, even though Jermaine Ortiz clearly got swept. Just seeing if you have some pretty solid movement on Keyshawn, I think with how Devin Haney fights, Devin Haney's gonna let his hands go more than Jermaine Ortiz, and Devin Haney's bigger than Jermaine Ortiz. I think those issues that's gonna give Keyshawn some major problems, and I think Devin Haney might be able to beat Keyshawn. Now, Zuffa Boxing announcing the third event. It's F.A. Jagma versus Charles Martin. If this was the Charles Martin maybe from like a couple years ago, I'll probably give it to Charles Martin. But just because Charles Martin, he's a lot older now. F.A. Jagma, I thought he beat Bacoli. And F.A. Jagma, he's pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I'm debating about it, because Bacoli beat Jared. F.A. Jagma, I feel like he beat Bacoli, but I'm thinking about that. This is a pretty good fight. This is a pretty good fight. Hopefully the undercard, who they have on it, is pretty good fights, because honestly, watching Zuffa 2, because I watched Zuffa 2, this event was a lot better than that first one. Granted, the first one wasn't that bad. It was a solid event. This one had knockouts. It had violence, and I think this is something good. And then your guys they're keeping the fighters active. And then from what Dana White said, I'll show the clip at the end, they're trying to pit more events on this year, and more events.
Listen, I don't want to get way ahead of myself here, but we're going to be adding more shows this year too. We'll be doing more fights than we originally announced. And like I said, as we start to roll out over the next couple of weeks what we have going on, it's going to rock the industry. Let's just put it that way.
Cortez was there, Tito Mercado's there, and this is going to be some pretty good matchups tonight. And this is hopefully going to get these fighters' names out there from how much they're wanting to fight. But let me know what you guys think, and I'm out of here.
To want to fight so much a year, that's not really a thing in traditional wrestling.
Yeah, I know, but it really hasn't been. It hasn't been tough. What we're starting to find is we talk to all these kids. They all want to fight, and they want to be consistent. They want to get their careers on the fast track, and when you fight consistently, you not only get better, but you make more money. So it's always a good thing. And the more times you fight, the more people hear your name, see you fight, watch the incredible things you do in the ring, and before you know it, these guys will be fighting in big title fights.